Parents are the ultimate role models for children. Every word, movement, and action of any parent has an effect on the child. No other person or outside force has a greater influence on a child than the parents do. Through the personal qualities and achievements of the parent, they inspire the children to strive and develop without direct instruction. Today on The Eagle, we shall be focusing on the role of parents in promoting or combating cybercrime. I am Aisha Muhammad. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Eagle.
I am Abdurrashid Bawa. I stand against corruption. I call on every patriotic Nigerian to lend their voices in this crusade. The labor of our heroes past shall never be in vain. Together we'll make Nigeria great.
We start today's program with a story from the Lagos Zonal Command of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). It is a report of the handover of some properties recovered from a convicted fake army general, Bolariwa Abiodun, to one Bamidele Safirio Olusegun. Here are details of the story.
Bolariwa Abiodun had posed as an army general to defraud Bamidele Safirio Olusegun of the sum of 266,500,000 naira, was arrested by the EFCC. Upon his conviction on July 8, 2022, the trial judge, Justice Oluwatoyin Tayo of the Special Offences Court sitting in Ikeja, Lagos, had sentenced Abiodun to 7 years imprisonment and also ordered him to forfeit all the proceeds of the crime, as well as a Range Rover Sport utility vehicle, SUV, a black BMW car, a black Toyota Land Cruiser car, and a white Toyota Hilux. The Lagos Zonal Commander, Ahmed Gali, while handing over the vehicle at the EFCC's Lagos Command, described the development as a milestone in the fight against corruption and appealed to the people to always provide information to the EFCC to assist it in fighting corruption. Gali said that whoever commits a crime will not get away with it, as the EFCC will get the person anywhere, anytime. He added that although the restitution is not 100%, the little that has been done is equally important. In his response, Olusegun commended the Commission for the doggedness in pursuing the case and saying that justice was served. He also applauded the operatives of the Commission for what he described as a job well done.
The grassroots corruption fighters have called on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to support it in its campaign against economic and financial crimes at the grassroots levels. This call was made in Abuja by the leadership of the group, led by the Senior Special Assistant on Information Technology to the Kano State Governor, Rufai Mustafa Daneji, who paid a courtesy visit to the EFCC headquarters in Abuja. Amina Kawa tells us more on the visit.
According to Daneji, the population of Nigerians at the grassroots is huge, and if people refuse to elect corrupt people into government, the problem of corruption will be drastically reduced, because corruption is a disease that kills Nigeria and any nation. He added that grassroots contribute immensely by giving corrupt leaders a chance in government through their votes. Therefore, the need to enlighten the people more, not to allow the corrupt get to power, is paramount. Daneji also commended the EFCC on its information technology architecture and sought its help and support to replicate the same in the Kano State's Anti-Corruption Agency.
It is a great pleasure for me and my colleagues here to have the opportunity for this formal visit. And we thank the chairman, heavily represented by the secretary of the commission, for accepting to receive us on this important and memorable day. Thank you so much, sir. I will also appreciate your response to our recent letter requesting for courtesy and accommodation visits, which is for the purpose of attaining knowledge in the area of ICT, how you operate your ICT facilities, how you utilize, investigate, and you prevent and mitigate corruption and other criminal offenses. Because we want to go back to Kano and see where we can employ your best practices in our state and the Corruption Commission.
In his response, Secretary to the EFCC, Judge Ekpungu, assured the Niger that his proposal was good and commendable and that the Commission will always partner with agency or individual that is genuinely committed to the fight against corruption. He stated that the EFCC is critical in the fight against corruption and is always ready to partner with any well-meaning agency and individuals in that respect.
The EFCC is critical in the fight against corruption and they are ready to partner any agency and organization, any well-meaning Nigerian, for that matter, who is trying to further the fight against corruption.
Deneji was accompanied on the visit by Nafiu Indabo and Mubarak Umar.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has called on Muslim youth to eschew all forms of financial crimes, including corruption. Deputy Commandant of the EFCC Academy, Joseph Ogwiji, made the plea while addressing children and youth of the Al-Habibia Islamic Society during an excursion to the EFCC Academy. Amina Kawa will take us through this report and another.
According to Ogwiji, one of the trending crimes prevalent in our society today is cybercrime, popularly known as 419 or Yahoo Yahoo. The youths, he said, are the future of Nigeria, but unfortunately, they happen to be the most involved in such acts. He therefore urged them to focus on their studies and imbibe the spirit of hard work, diligence, and determination in order to achieve the level of success that God has destined for them.
And one of the trending crime we have now that is prevalent is this cybercrime, 419 issue, Yahoo Yahoo things. So as you are growing up, you hear that they make a lot of money. But again, most time they make a lot of money at the infancy, but they don't end well. Most time they end in prison. So it's something you don't at all, shouldn't be encouraged by maybe the big vehicles or the lifestyle they live for you to begin to think towards that direction at all. So as you are growing up, I want us to begin to charge our mind towards study on how to become who you actually God has created you to become. What your destiny, how God has destined you to become.
The leader of the group, Haji Rafat, said the society is holding the 10th Teenagers Workshop, which is a periodic event designed to expose them to issues of adulthood, morals, education, and the various laws prohibiting drug abuse, economic and financial crimes, and how to expose violators of the laws. The visit to the academy is to further expose the youths to the operations of the commission and to expose them to how they can also become crusaders of the anti-corruption fight.
What we try to do with the young ones, our teens, and the pre-teens is to expose them to issues of adulthood, moral, education, spiritual. We expose them to the complexities of adulthood with the hope that as they grow older, they will make the right choices.
Similarly, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has urged members of the Anti-Corruption Community Development Service Group of the National Youth Service Corps (NYSC) to embrace hard work and avoid involvement in cybercrime and other types of economic and financial crimes. Commandant of the EFCC Academy, Ayo Olowonihi, gave the charge during a sensitization program at the Kari Local Government Secretariat, Nasarawa State. Olowonihi, who was represented by the head, Media Academy, ACE Chidinma Anamambu, urged corps members to be dedicated in whatever they are assigned to do during the service year. She stressed the need for them to be good ambassadors and represent Nigeria in good light as they are the leaders of tomorrow. The corps members who were sensitized on the key provisions of the EFCC Establishment Act 2004 expressed the willingness to carry the anti-corruption campaign to various schools and the society at large. Amina Kawa reporting for The Eagle.
Next is the conviction update with Abbas Abubakar Omar. Over to you, Abbas.
Nelson Mandela of blessed memory once said, and I quote, "The first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. Great peacemakers are people of integrity, honesty, but humility." End of quote. The EFCC has continued to record success in its prosecution of criminals who were found guilty of economic and financial crimes. A breakdown of the convictions shows that the Ibadan Zonal Command of the Commission secured 25 convictions, while the Lagos Command secured 15 convictions. The Abuja Command followed closely with 10 convictions, while the Sokoto Command and Kano Command have 2 and 1 convictions respectively. In all, the EFCC within 22nd to 26th of August 2022 secured a total of 54 convictions. Let us join hands with the EFCC in this fight against economic and financial crimes. Say something when you see something. Back to you, Aisha.
Parents contribute to the developing focus, concentration, and self-control in their children. They also improve critical thinking, empathy, perspective, making connections, and communicating. With a supportive parent, a child never regrets taking risk, and this prepares a self-directed child. As earlier stated, we are discussing the role of parents in promoting or combating cybercrime. Golden Onwura is standing by with our guest to take us through this interview segment on this topic. Over to you, Golden.
Cybercrime has remained a prevalent vice among young people in our country today. Young people throw around illicit wealth and are applauded by family members who see them as their financial messiah sent to deliver the family from poverty. Hello viewers and welcome to the interview segment. I am Golden Onwura. Today we will be discussing the role of parents in promoting or combating cybercrime. I have here with me DCE Felicia Booth Timothy. She's the Deputy Director, Staff Welfare Services of the EFCC. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I also have ACE Chris Oluka. He is the Head Creative Communications Unit at the EFCC. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Who is a parent? I will start from you, DCE Timothy.
A parent is a father or a mother unto a child. It can be biological or a guardian unto a child.
Okay. Do you have anything to add?
Well, a parent is actually that person who has been given the responsibility of training up a child. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the roles expected of these parents?
Well, the very first thing is that the parent is expected to take care of the basic need of the children under their care. So, things like food, clothing, giving shelter to the children or the dependent, these are the responsibility of the parents, the basic one. And then you go to the issue of moral upbringing. The parent has it as a responsibility to take care of the children in terms of bringing them, in an upright way.
In addition to that, it's important for parents to teach children the importance of hard work. Spirituality is equally important. As a Muslim, we all have it in the books, holy books. It's stated there how we should bring up our children. And if children are taken to the church or to the mosques, they learn all these things from there. When you grow old, the children will not depart from it. Because you have to make them understand that religion is also part of it, because it also teaches some of this moral upbringing as lessons from the holy books. So it's important you make them understand that whether they are there or not, these books will serve as reference points for them to go back to for consultations.
That being said, In recent times, we've seen that there's been an upsurge of cybercrime among young people in our country today. You see young people throwing around illicit wealth, all in the name of I've made it, I've made it. So how does parental negligence contribute to this?
Well, a lot of times, some parents are even ignorant. They don't know some of these gadgets they are holding or they are giving their children could make them exposed to some of these vices. So it's ignorance sometimes on the part of parents. Some people don't know the internet as much as the children do. So that will go a long way to expose our kids. So that is the negligence in the part of the parents. Something is is showing love by allowing their children to have their way. Yes, they get indulged in all these things. So parents think it's a show of love. Sometimes they don't follow the monitor. So that allows the child to explore. And sometimes the kids on their own stumble on sites. They are not even aware that they are being exposed to certain things that could be dangerous to them. Those could be threats to them and even the family.
The very first thing I want to say is that sometimes some people might not understand what cybercrime is all about. Cybercrime is actually a crime that is perpetrated through the usage of a computer and their network. So it could be through that Android phone, it could also be through the desktop or the laptop. And usually, most important thing to note, especially as we're talking about cybercrime, is that in Nigeria, it has been taken to a very high level. That's what we call Yahoo Yahoo, whereby people usually use identity theft. They thief people's identity. They steal people's identity, and then they use it to, most of the time, seek for financial gratification from those people. So, having said that, the negligence of parents could also be in the area of parents not having time and attention for their children. Sometimes too, parents, you see your children associating with people that are negative. There are people who, when you see them with your children, you need to say, where are you coming from? Who is this person? I don't like the dressing. I don't like this or this, So you need to also monitor the people that your children are going out with. So that's basically some of the negligence.
Okay.
Yes.
That's on the part of the parents.
Yes.
Now, from the angle of the youth, what do you think is the motivation for these engagements? What do you think pushes them into this cybercrime profile?
The very first motivation is greed. A whole lot of things that have been sold to us, especially to the young ones, whose mind have not yet been fully formed, so to speak, in the social media, are farce. They are not the real thing. And so you see, whether in Facebook or in WhatsApp or whatever, or Instagram, whatever, you see people, living fake lives. So some of these young ones think that that is all that it is to life. So that is it. And then there are other issues regarding peer pressure and some other things.
Let's hear from this age.
A lot of times is the get rich quick syndrome. Children want to get rich quick. It doesn't matter how they go about it. Like he mentioned, peer pressure. I want to have what he has. They don't know how he got it. It might be through parents. It might be through uncles. Like we mentioned earlier, uncles could be the ones that have helped this other friend of his. But he doesn't know. He believes this thing, he did something and he got it. So it doesn't matter to these young ones. And they don't want to go into working very hard. You don't want to work. They don't know that you need to work. There's also what we know about dignity in labor. There are some children these days don't want to do the dirty work. They just want to wake up and they are having an Android phone that is very expensive, that a worker who has been working for 15 years can't afford to buy. But you see these young ones are holding it. So parents don't even know the extent to which their child has gone. So somebody will be carrying a big phone. The parent doesn't even know, and they will not ask them. So these things are very expensive. So for a parent, that's a cue for you to know that your child has gone very far along the line. So you are supposed to call him for caution. So is that get well? If I have Mr. A holding a big phone, I should have an iPhone, to beat him to it. So they don't want to work, but they want to make money.
Another point that is worth stressing is the issue of also societal pressure. When you look around, you find out that unlike the olden days, where people livelihood are known and are measured, today, what is happening is that from the chieftaincy positions are given to these young people, names are given to them. They take titles. You understand? Titles that are mind-boggling, suggestive of how much they have made. And the people giving them these titles are the traditional rulers. So this thing empowers them. They want to answer the biggest name, that will suggest that they have arrived.
What do you think the parents should now do to curtail this or combat this vice?
For me, number one, I think parents should monitor their children closely. For those ones that are toddlers, they know how, even a baby today knows how to command the parents' attention by crying and then getting what they want. So parents, it's their role to monitor these children and guide them, because you have to chaperone your child so that you understand your child very well. There has to be that communication between parents and their kids. If you don't understand your children, it will be difficult for you to watch them. So you have to guide them, you have to monitor what they are doing. For those ones that have grown and you have given them phones, you have to monitor the sites they are visiting. Because sometimes they visit sites that are even dangerous for them, dangerous to their family. Sometimes from there, they get bullies and so on and so forth. So it's your duty for you to monitor. What are they discussing? What are some of the things they talk about? Because that can help you to monitor your child. You may not go and comment there. You can come back outside and talk to the child and guide him properly on his contributions and presence on those websites and the dangers that it entails. We've seen where kids have been taken and outrightly killed through visitations to certain websites, through attending to people they don't know. And then you have to make them understand that not everybody is your friend on the virtual world.
In fact, Ngozi Chimamanda Adichie, one of the Nigerians' foremost author, recently in an NBA conference, said that the problem with Nigeria is the lack of role models. And that is exactly what is happening today. When we look at those people in entertainment as the only role models they have, there's nothing wrong with that. But you must make sure that the person you are looking up to is a good role model, because there are also negative role models. So parents must live what they teach. They must be who they say they are. And that is the greatest message. Without even saying much, children will be learning from them. On the other hand, also, concerning the role that we play here in EFCC, parents should know that EFCC is not their children's enemy. They should be able to understand that we are working towards helping their children.
Indeed, the role of parents in combating cybercrime cannot be overemphasized. Thank you, DCE Felicia Timothy and ACE Chris Oluka, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Always remember that the home is the child's first point of learning. Therefore, parents must seize every opportunity to inculcate the right values in the life of their children. That's it from this segment. I am Golden Onra. Back to Aisha for the rest of the program.
The importance of prevention in the fight against economic and financial crimes cannot be overemphasized. Hence the brilliant idea by the EFCC to engage with its audience on its Twitter space at official EFCC on EFCC Connect every Wednesday at 6 p.m. EFCC Connect is a weekly town hall meeting that serves as a veritable platform to educate and sensitize the EFCC stakeholders on its workings and how the public can own the fight against economic and financial crimes. This week on EFCC Connect, we shall be discussing 100% legit is possible, how the youth can fight economic and financial crimes for a better Nigeria. Join the conversation for this and more. Well, this is where we draw the curtains on this week's Eagle, but this is a reminder that you can send an email to info@efcc.gov.ng and speak to our officers on 0809 3322644 and follow us on all our social media platforms at official EFCC. Use the EFCC mobile app, the Eagle Eye, to report any fraud you see happening around you. You download the app, follow the steps, and report fraud on the go. And you can also take pictures of corrupt practices and upload them. On a final note, as a parent, your regular presence and interaction with your children makes you the consistent and evolving role models in their lives. You influence your child's basic moral and religious values. They look up to you on issues relating to their future, like educational choices. The stronger your relationship with your child, the more influence you will have over him, as your child will be more likely to seek your guidance and value your opinion and support. I am Aisha Muhammad. Let's rebuild our country by rebuilding our children. God bless Nigeria. Please do stay safe, be kind to yourself and to others. Do enjoy the rest of the week.